Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people, everyone, everywhere, across the entire land of YouTube. Hello, my name's MBZ. You probably knew that, seeing as the fact that you're here. But yeah, anyway, we've got a game for you today on this fine Friday. It's against Shadowfication from a stream a little bit back, and using the same team as before, I believe, with the stuff which Nick and I made. And it's a very fun team, and I do like using it. It's definitely great, I must say. So I lead off with Jalison, get a really terrible matchup from the start of the game against his Virizion, which I don't want to be taking either a Giga Drain or a Leaf Blade from. I don't know at this point whether he is a specially or physically offensive one, but I know one thing for sure, and that is that Heatran will take any of those grass hits with ease. Now, the one thing I'm not quite sure about is whether he's choiced or not. So, not knowing whether he's a choice variant or not, I'm going to switch out from Heatran to go into Espeon, predicting him to go for the fighting move on my Heatran, and knowing that once Espeon is in, that can threaten with the Psychic. So I go to it, but seeing that he switches out to his Heatran pretty much tells me that his Virizion is choiced, which kind of gives me a little bit of knowledge there. But he obviously, Heatran comes in against Espeon. I can take on Heatran easily. I can set up my light screen on it, and after that, it can't really do too much to me. The little issue is that it has Air Balloon, which is a little bit of an annoyance, but nothing that I can't really get around. The only thing that has Earthquake is Hydreigon, and I have Repulsion to deal with Heatran as well, so that's another potential switch in. But I go into Repulsion now, which after the light screen has been set up is going to be wrecking everyone's day all across the sky, across everyone's faces and stuff. So I go for the sub here as he switches into Virizion, and I guess that he was trying to bait me into the fighting move because he goes from Virizion straight into his Gengar, which you know, is able to take the Focus Punch or the Mach Punch, whichever one I decide to go for. I decided to go for the Focus Punch. At that point, I really didn't need to predict his switch to Gengar because I was behind a sub, and being behind a sub, I'm able to just go for a payback and kill him if he so wants to try and take my sub out, which at this point he really can't even take the sub out simply because I have the light screen up. So because I have light screen, I have the sub that's going to tank the hit for me. Payback's going to be at full power because he attacked me with Shadow Ball, and I'm going to clean that Gengar completely out, take the thing down, and that's a big threat out of the way because sub-disabled Gengar can be a bit of a trouble for this team. Using it on PO, coming against sub-disabled Gengar, it really can annoy me quite a lot. So I'm glad to get the thing out of the way at least. Let it disappear. So he brings in Starmie now, just wanting to get rid of my substitute, I guess, and knowing that I guess Virizion or his other guys are more useful to him than Starmie, so he kind of throws it away, lets Payback kill it, and gives Repulsion another kill. I mean, this thing, when you have screen support with a substitute, you know, a substitute punch, bulky Conkeldurr, it can really wreck faces. It really can. So he goes into Latios here, and he's trying to bait my Payback so that I go for it and give him the justified boost on his Virizion, but I basically just didn't want to take a Draco from the Latios. So what I did is I switched out to Sizzle, predicting the Dragon move, which actually doesn't work out well because Virizion can actually do a pretty hefty chunk to my Sizzle with a close combat. So what I do is I go to Jellicent, predicting that, knowing he doesn't want to go for the Leaf Blade at that point. He just wants to get as much damage on my Heatran as he possibly can. Scizor as he possibly can. So that's what he does, and I kind of go for the obvious play with the Will-O-Wisp here, even though he did have Heatran still, and I kind of was like, I wasn't really in a position to predict. I didn't really need to, so I just kind of went for the Will-O-Wisp, not really caring, and it worked out okay because I mean, nothing bad happened out of it because Heatran isn't really a big threat with a Flash Fire boost, in my opinion anyway. So I go into Espeon because I know Earth Power's coming, I know I can live one, and I know that I can set up a light screen while he kills me, which is exactly what I do. He doesn't actually manage to kill me with the Earth Power. He brings me down to 12 after the light screen, which is kind of funny, but because the burn hacks he got earlier, he is going to be able to finish me off there, which means that now we're going to go back to the same thing that happened at the start of the game. His Heatran staying in on my Espeon and me setting up light screen is going to result in me switching to Conkeldurr, being able to set up a substitute, and being able to clean that thing out with a Focus Punch. Now, the one thing that kind of ruins my plans a little bit here is the fact he gets the special defense drop on that Earth Power. Now, what that means is that he's going to be able to break my sub with this Lava Plume because for one thing, he has the special defense drop, and for the second thing, he actually has the flash fire boost from earlier, which, there you go, that kind of comes into play there, and I guess it did matter in that sense. So it doesn't really matter in the sense of me killing him, because I do, and it really wasn't too much difficult thing to get round. The only annoying thing is that even though I have light screen up, obviously my special defense is dropped because of that earth power, so if he does want to bring in something specially attacking, then it wouldn't be as good as it would have been before if that hadn't occurred. But I'm going to go into Jellicent now, predicting him to go for that close combat, but he actually predicts me here to go into Jellicent, gets the Leaf Blade off, which is good. I mean, he knows now that he can do that, and he was in a position to predict there, which was nice for him, and he does get it correct. But the problem is that now that I know he's choiced from earlier anyway, it gives me a free window to go into Scizor. Now, Scizor coming in on a resisted hit on a choice poke generally gives you the impression, well, fuck, I'm screwed, because now it can either set up on me with Sword Stance, or it can freely U-turn and do some choice band heavy damage. But luckily for him, I'm not going to Sword Dance on that turn, because I thought he was going to switch out. I just went for the Bug Bite. But looking at him here, he seems to be thinking that I'm not a Swords Dance variant, which is why he's staying in and just waiting for him to die, I guess, which is why he's just going for the Leaf Blade. But I really don't understand why he stayed in here. Maybe he thought all hope was lost at this point, and he was kind of depressed at how Rapushin shitted all over his team at the start of the game. So anyway, I reveal Roost, and I reveal, obviously, that I'm a bulky Life Orb set, which at this point he realizes, well, fuck, it's a little bit too little, too late, as he's going to allow me to get up +4, which I don't think a Bullet Punch at +4 will be able to take out Jolteon just because I'm especially defensive Scizor, but because I am especially defensive Scizor, I know that I can take a Thunderbolt. Even if it is a Specs Jolteon, I know I can take it, so I decide to go for the Bug Bite as opposed to the Bullet Punch, mainly because I know I can live, and secondly because I didn't think Bullet Punch would kill. But at this point, even though I have a little bit of HP left, Life Orb will eventually kill me. He doesn't have enough Pokemon left to the point at which he can Life Orb stall me to death, and I'm going to be able to take out the Virizion with the Bullet Punch, and his last is that guy called Latios, which is definitely not going to be able to take a +4 Bullet Punch with that Life Orb boost as well. So Latios is going to get cleaned out by Scizor, and that is going to be the game. It wasn't the best of games, really, but the thing that I like to kind of bring to mention here is that the way that that team is kind of supposed to work is using Espeon to set up screens so that either Scizor can set up Swords Dances with screens active, or you know, Conkeldurr can set up a sub while screens are active and go sub punching and doing all that amazing stuff. So that's kind of what the idea of the thing was, and it does work out nicely in that game, so it was pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. My schedule's been a little bit off recently, but I will try and fix that. I'll try and get a bit more regular and get things into a bit more of a schedule back again. But otherwise, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like. That would be very helpful. It would please me much. And otherwise, you can check out my social links below at Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr.coms, respectively, and I will see you guys all next time. Goodbye.